First up is a Joe Sakic OPG. All right. So I'll look at the centering first as usual. Looks about 50, 55, 45 left to right, a little thinner on the left. Very common. You have a lot of little fish eyes. You see them all over, little green. Right there, all over. Let me look at the corners. Corners look pretty good. I'm a little worried about this little white spot right there. You see that on the edge? Okay. No creases, no little surface wrinkles or anything like that. But unfortunately, I think those fish eyes are a little too much for PSA. Let's go ahead and flip to the back. We've got a factory imperfection right here. But the back looks pretty good. It's centered up. Corners look good. I mean, there's normal like edge wear. That's common to how it came out of the factory, so I'm not too worried about that. It's a nice card, but I think it's somewhere probably around 8.5. I think PSA would give it an 8. The other companies may get up to a 9. I think I'm going to give it an 8.5 is where I would be on this card. All right, next up we got a Lethal Weapons Wolverine. Cool card. All right, I'm excited to look at this one closer. All right. So right off the bat, I'm looking at the centering, and it's near 50-50. I'm not worried about that at all. The surface has factory lines all through here. Nothing major. The surface also needs a good wipe down, I would say. I'm not even sure. It's almost like a coating, but I think that's probably pretty normal. Nothing major. Let's look at the corners a little closer. Corners look pretty good. And the edges look pretty good too. Yeah. Just a little bit of debris right there. Got it. I don't know, so far it's looking like a 9 to me, just because of those surface marks and the little kind of film on it, that old film. This is a 1995 card. Back corners look pretty good, especially on those top two dark corners. It looks good. No creases or anything. Edges look great. No weird indents. The back looks like a 10 to me. Yeah. So I'm just worried about that front surface. That's the only thing. I think it's close to a mint 9. I think I would put it at a mint 9. Nice card. I think it's worth grading. Okay. All right, next up we got a Mad Game Shaquille O'Neal. Got lots of debris on it. Just gonna get that off real quick. Okay. So first I'll look at the centering. It looks a little off left to right. You can tell by the Mad Game right here. It's a little thicker on the left than the right, but not too bad. It looks like 60-40 to me. Pretty good for condition sensitive card. Corners look pretty sharp. Nice and sharp. Good corners. Edges are pretty good too. Let's flip it over. Some touch of white showing on these back corners, on these top two. But not terrible. Nothing to bring it down from a mint 9. Edges are nice, surface is there, centering's there. It's a clean card. I think it's somewhere between a 9 and a 9.5. I'm just worried. I know PSA would not like the white showing on that back corner right there. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a 9, and I think Beckett or SGC might give it a 9.5. All right, next up we got a cool looking exceptional Shaquille O'Neal. I hope this one is a gem. It looks good already. Okay, so the first thing I'm looking at is the centering, and it looks great. Man, it looks 50-50. It's harder to tell on these thin borders, but it's there, trust me. Nothing wrong with the surface either. Oh, it looks great. The edges look clean. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything yet. A little bit of touch of red. That's just from, I'm sure, the printing process. I don't think that's gonna hurt you. But let's hope the back looks good. It's just frustrating because this isn't your fault. It's just where it's gonna get you. All of this back, see that? It's a ripple. I call it a ripple. It's all on the other side too. See it right all through there. And then we have some chipping. You can really see it right there, all on that top edge. And a little indent right there. See it? It's a bummer because the front is so nice. So this rippling's pretty typical for this card, so I personally wouldn't hammer it. And it depends on the PSA grader, how well he knows this card. So I think I would put it towards an 8. But I wouldn't be shocked if PSA gives it like a 7. And the other companies I think would be aligned with me with an 8. That's too bad because the front is so nice. Yeah, it's a shame that back. Let's look at that indent one more time. Yeah. Okay. Cool card. All right, next up we have a really cool, I don't see this card very often. Tim Duncan, hardware. I think this is his rookie year too. 97, 98. Cool looking card. All right, let's see what we got. So centering's pretty good. What you do on these cards is you look at this square around the hardware and you see it's pretty even top to bottom and left to right. So I'm happy with the centering. The surface does have a few kind of foil loss a little bit right here. I don't think it's going to affect you too much. A lot of these have them. Corners look nice, especially for foil from the 90s. Looks pretty good. Wow, I'm impressed with this card. Edges look pretty good. Let's hope the back looks good. Okay. I don't see anything major right away. It's centered. Just a tiny bit of debris. Be careful. Yes, came right off. That's good. Okay. One little edge nick. You can kind of see it right there. But that's just a touch of white and a touch of white on this bottom right corner right there. Just a touch. But not bad at all. Oh man, you gotta get this one graded. I'm a fan. I think it's close to a 9, which is very good for this card. I think SGC may even give it a 9.5. Beckett would look cool with that gold label. You know, you might even get a 9.5 with Beckett. I think so. It's a cool card. I think PSA would give it a 9. Very nice copy. Next up, we got a Nemesis. Michael Jordan and Joe Dumars. Cool card. All right. Let's see what we got. So centering looks pretty good. A little thinner on the left than the right, but not too bad. Price 55.45. I'm a little concerned about the corners though. You can see noticeable white on this top right and bottom right. Surface looks good. And the edges look pretty good, especially from being foil. Maybe a little bit of edge wear on the bottom left. But I'm worried about this corner right here. And this corner on the top right. Yeah, I think this is the main corner it's going to get. You can really see it in the loop. Unfortunately, I think it's going to bring it down to a PSA 8. I'm leaning more towards like an 8.5 so far. But let's see what this Dumars side looks like. The Dumars side looks even a little better. It's actually 50-50 centering. Edges, corners look pretty nice. Yeah, the Dumars looks like a 10. But unfortunately, that Jordan side, that one corner, if you see it in the loop, there's fraying and some white wear to it. Still a gorgeous card. I'm almost inclined to give it a 9 just because of that Dumars side. Yeah, I don't know. I'm borderline. Give an 8.5 on corners. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 9 actually, but I think PSA will give an 8. All right, we got a 1996 Topps Finest, I believe, Jordan. So on these ones, I'm gonna give you a grade with the coating and a grade without the coating. No greening, which is very nice. I don't see it on Jordan at all. Looks like some minor greening along this inner border edging. That won't affect you as much as it does the actual photo. Okay, but let's get to the centering. It's pretty close. A little thinner on the left than the right, I would say. 55-45. Top to bottom looks good. Corners are nice and sharp. I'm not worried about these thicker chromium stock. Edges look good. I like it. Even the coating looks really nice. You know, it's on there really well. I see one little coating mark right here, but a lot of times with the coating it would bring you down to an 8 just having the coating on, but I think this is with a coating it's actually a 9. But I have to look at the back real quick. So I see a little surface mark. You can see it right here, right there. You see that? And the back just needs cleaned. It's got a lot of, yeah. You would have to get it a damp washcloth, wipe it all down, and then with a dry one, dry it off. And then the little edge ding, not thrilled about, is right over here. See it? Other than that, just the back just needs cleaned up. But that mark worries me a little bit. I think it's going to bring you down to a 9. Either way, actually. So if you like the coating, I would just leave it on, because it's not going to get a 10 because of that mark. Other than that, the back corners look good. Okay, I think this is a mid-9. Alright, next up, it looks like we got a Jordan Championship Series. It's the die-cut version. I've always liked this card. Centering's there. I'm not too worried about that. Maybe a little thicker on the top than the bottom, but I'm gonna have to look that up just to be sure. After I'm done grading, I'm gonna look that up and see what the PSA 10s look like, because to me this looks a little too close to the bottom, this logo, but maybe that's normal. I'll have to look that up. So the corners and edges look pretty good, other than this bottom right I'm worried about. So it has this factory indent. Where's my finger? Right there. See that right there? And then a little bit of white showing, a little wear on the bottom right corner. So that part I'm a little concerned about. See how the back looks. Oh, the back looks great. A little bit of an indent right here, see that? But I don't think that one's gonna affect you. It's not deep enough. Little bit of corner wear in this back right, and a little bit of lifting common to die cuts. See it right there? Still, I'm still tempted to give this a 9 or an 8.5. I'm gonna probably put an 8.5. I think I need to look at a little closer the problem area. Yeah. Yeah, under the loop, it's definitely noticeable, really noticeable. Okay, so it's somewhere between an 8 and a 9. We'll go from there, and I'm going to look it up, make sure it's not too off-center. All right, we got a Present Impact Kobe. Oh, never like it when the penny sleeve sticks to the card. Oh, man. Not good. I can see it right away. You see that? Look at that. Oh man, that's crazy. Definitely don't grade this card, okay? A huge, I don't know what you want to call it, indent, crease. Yeah, that's too bad. It goes all the way through the back of the card too. You see that? It's hard to assess this now knowing that it's there. Okay, so corners look good. The surface has some film it would need cleaned. But I mean, you have a huge problem with the surface. Edges look good. The back corner's a little wear, a little soft on this top right. Okay. I'll look a little closer, but you know, my grade will probably be a 4 because of that huge crease. There you go. All right, we got another Kobe. This is the Star Power. Let's hope for no more creases. Okay, looking good so far. Centering's there. I'm looking at the Ultra logo. Corners are there too. I'm loving this front. Not seeing much. Front's looking like a 10. Come on back. Okay, back centering looks good. I'm seeing a little bit of dimples, a little lifting on this back left corner. You see them? Just 2 tiny dimples. But other than that, ooh, it looks good other than that. Edges, corners. I'm just trying to debate whether that's enough to bring it down to a PSA 9 or if it has a shot at a 10. It's somewhere between a 9 and a 10. I like it personally. I'm going to put it at a 9.5 just because of that back right there. But it does have a shot at a 10. I think it's definitely a gradable card. Okay, I think it's a 9.5. All right, we got another Kobe. This is the exclusives, rookie exclusives. I've always liked this card. Okay, centering looks pretty good. I feel confident about it. I see a little debris. I'm just going to get off on the bottom. There we go. Corners. Let's look at the corners next. I'm not seeing much. Corners look good. Edges, I'm a little concerned about. I see a little white right there. A little bit of white there. Let's see. I think that's his name. Yeah, you see these the indents right there? Don't worry, that's his name. You can tell it's Kobe. So they don't get you for that. That's okay. That's just part of the card. The back looks good. This one's gradable too. It has a shot at a 10. I would grade it. Let's see. I'm trying to debate whether I'm gonna get. I think I'm gonna give it another 9.5 just because of that edge wear on the bottom. So it's similar to that last card I just graded. You have a shot at a 10, but I think PSA would give it a 9 because of that edge. Yeah, okay. All right, we got another Kobe. I like grading these Kobes. His Ultra Rookie from 96. These ones I think are really condition sensitive. Just a little debris I'm going to wipe off. Centering. a little bit off top to bottom and a little left to right, but not too bad. Wouldn't keep you below a 9, but I'm more concerned about, has a very faint, I call it like a pack indent, the way it sat, maybe. Very faint. And that top right corner I'm worried about. See, it's pretty white, but it looks like a little fraying. Let's look a little closer. Yeah. It's got some fraying to it. I think with that corner, it brings you down to a PSA 8. There we go. Got the debris. And there's something about that little line indent I'm just not thrilled about. Let's look at the back. There's some back corner wear, just a touch of white on this bottom right, but not too bad. The back looks nice. Just gonna get a little bit of debris off a little bit. There we go. This is a nice copy for a condition-sensitive card, but unfortunately, I think PSA would give it an 8. I'm closer to an 8.5. That's where I would put it. Yeah, I'm confident in that. 8.5. There we go. All right, we got a Grant Hill 96 Finest. I can already tell I'm worried about the greening, especially the position and location. It's right on his face. People call hulking greening. Nowadays, PSA automatically gives it an 8, which is, I get it. It really throws off the aesthetics of the card. But let's go ahead and look at the centering. The centering's pretty good. A little thinner on this left side than the right, but it still looks like 55-45. Corners are going to be nice and sharp on these cards. Yeah, they look good. The peel actually looks really good. I don't see anything too wrong with that. You know, if you are going to grade, I probably wouldn't take off the peel because the greening already affected you. The back looks really good. I don't see anything wrong with the back. It's nice. It's the rare gold. So yeah, unfortunately it would be an 8. Just because of the greening. And it's not that much either. But there's some on the leg, but the position of that's really going to hurt it. If that green mark would have been more on the numbers, then maybe it would have been a little higher, but... Okay. All right, we got the Penny Hardaway one. Centering looks 50-50. But again, I'm just worried about the position. It's bad luck. It's position of that greening, the hulking. It's right on the face again. All throughout the arm. The coating is not as nice at this one. It's got a little bit of peel up right here. So if you are going to remove the coating, I would go from this corner. It's such a nice card other than the greening. I know it's not fair. Centering's there, corners are there, edges are there. The back... centering's a little off top to bottom, you can see, but you know, PSA gives you leeway. It looks like 80-20 to me, honestly. But you know, the greening is gonna bring it down anyway. No dings on the edges, no surface marks. The back looks really good. Corners look good too. It's just the greening. Okay, I think it's an 8 still. All right, next up we got the Scottie Pippen. And I'm already liking the position of the greening a little better. It is pretty big though right here. kind of all through his crotch, but it's not on his face, you know. Centering looks pretty good. A little heavy on the top and the bottom, but still 55-45. Corners look good. Edges look good. There are some kind of scratches, not to the card, but to the coating. So this coating's not as nice. You can kind of see it right through there. The back's already looking pretty good too. I'm not seeing much wrong. Centering's better, a little thinner on the top than the bottom, but nothing major. Corners look good, edges look good. I see a little, let's see if we can pick that up. It's like a surface little line indent right here. See that? That could affect the grade too. But not as much as the hulking. So I still think, you know, I would probably put this like in an 8.5, so not much higher, because it's still got that greening and that little line indent on the back. It's very faint though. But let me look at the corners a little bit. It's too bad these cards are so centered up. Yeah. I might lean more towards an 8. That line bugs me right there. See that? Yeah, I'm thinking an 8. All right, we got the Bo Jackson 1986 Topps Traded. I've always loved this card. Ooh, it's clean. But the back is where it gets you, so I'm scared to flip it over. A little normal kind of edge wear, but not too bad. You always see it on this black part, see on the side here on the left, but I don't think they knock you as much because they all kind of have it. Corners look pretty good, maybe a touch of fraying, but it's kind of just like extra. It's not hurting that corner. That corner looks great. Oh man, the centering is nearly 50-50 on this. And then it has these little printing imperfections, but they all have them. It's common to that card, so I'm not going to hammer you on those. One little, see if we can pick it up, surface blemish right here. Yeah, you can really see it on his neck. That might bring you down to a mint 9, but let's look at the back. So centering top to bottom is off, obviously. But I don't think it would hurt you too much. It's a really nice card. Let me look a little closer at this corner. Again, it's the one with a little bit of extra fraying right here, but it's not, I wouldn't call it damage. I really wouldn't. Yeah, the corners look good. This is fresh. You can tell it's fresh from the set, the factory set. I would put it at a 9.5. The only thing and why I would knock it is because of that. And I think PSA would give it a 9 because of that. But I think the other ones would be online with me. I'm confident in a 9.5 on this one. All right, next up we got the Barry Bonds Topps Traded. Okay, so centering isn't as good. If you can compare it to the Bo Jackson. But top to bottom, it's a little thicker on the bottom than the top. So a little thinner on the top, but still within a 9 range. I would say, gosh, it looks 60-40 to me. Left to right's pretty good, 55-45. Nice clean. You must have had a set. Very clean card. Let's look a little closer at these corners. Little bit of, yeah, a little bit of chipping and corner wear on these top two, common. And then the edge, you can see a little right here too. Still nothing major. So far it's looking like a 9 to me. But let's flip it over and see what we got. Fairly nicely centered. Clean card. I see a little edge chipping on this bottom left. Yeah. But yeah, nothing major. I don't see any creases. It's a very clean card. Both these 86 tradeds are worth grading. But because of that front centering and a little bit of edge wear in this corner right here, I'm confident. I think it would be a 9. Yeah, I think it'd be a 9 all the way around for all the grading companies. They're nice cards. Very nice cards. All right, we got some Hulk Hogan. These will be fun. I haven't graded these before. Had a classic. I wonder what year these are. 1990. He was always one of my favorite wrestlers. So right off the bat, thinner on the left than the right. It looks 60-40 to me. Card is nice and clean. Just getting off a little debris on the bottom here. Let's flip it over for a little bit. Yeah, it's a nice looking card. It has a shot at a PSA Gem 10, but I think the centering, most likely they're going to give it a mint 9. But all other aspects of the card are pretty good, but it is nearly 25 years old, so they're going to be a little harsher on it. I would put it at a 9.5. I think with other companies you'll get a 9.5 too. But PSA, my guess, you have a 10% chance of getting a 10. It's a nice card, definitely gradable. Look a little closer. Yeah. One more time on this corner. All right, I think it's a 9.5. All right, next up we got another Hulk Hogan. I like grading these. I'm glad you have a lot of them. So the centering is better on this one. This one looks almost 50-50. So I love the front centering. But the surface, it's always one thing or another. It's hard to get that perfect card. The fisheyes are really going to hurt you. See one right here, right above the letter N. And there's actually one in the letter H. And there's 2 up here on this upper right quadrant. Other than that, the edges are nice. The corners are nice. I don't see any flaws other than that. Maybe a little bit of surface marks around his chest. But again, nothing else going on with that. Let's flip it over to the back. Little mark right here, but that's nothing. Not gonna hurt you enough. Not worse than the fisheyes, that's for sure. But unfortunately, the fisheye is going to keep you from a 10. But this is a solid 9 copy. I wouldn't grade it any higher, just because of the amount of the fisheyes. But the back is 50-50. There's no creases. The edges look good. Corners look good. So, yeah, I'm pretty confident it's just a 9 copy. All right, we got the Hulkster. Can already see the centering top to bottom is a little off. And I always say flip it horizontally to see just how truly off it is. See how thin it is compared to this left. So bottom thick, top thin. Left to right's pretty good. I still think it's within, it's close, 60-40. I might do a quick measurement for you. But I think it's 60-40 barrel. No, I mean, sorry. 65-35, which is mint 9 tolerance. That's kind of where I would put it at. So I still think you would get a mint 9 so far. Let's keep looking at the card based on centering. Corners look good. I can tell they're nice and clean cards. They look pretty pack fresh. Nothing wrong with the surface. There's no fish eyes. It's just the centering so far. Yeah, the back's nicely centered. Nice quality control in these cards. Yeah, okay, so just the centering. So I think you're going to get a mint 9 based on the centering alone. But it looks pretty good. All right, mint 9. All right, next up we have an Ultimate Warrior. So let's go and look at the centering. It's looking pretty good, almost 50-50. Looks like a little thinner on the top than the bottom, and a little bit to the left than the right. So, but within 55-45. Surface looks great. Corners are looking nice and sharp, and the edges are looking good. Let's look a little closer. Let's grab the loop. Okay. Yeah, these are clean copies. I'm not seeing much. Yeah, very nice front. I think the front looks like a 10 to me. Let's hope the back looks good. No creases. The edge has normal kind of wear. I wouldn't call it wear, just like extra cut from the factory. I don't think that really hurts the value at all, or the grade. So right off the bat, I'm worried about this mark. You see it right there. It's definitely not supposed to be there. It's factory. Doesn't look like pen or anything. It's just unfortunate. The little factory mark. But it's noticeable enough. I think PSA would bring it down to a 9. Other than that, oh man, the card is so nice. But I'm thinking that it is a 9.5 in my book, and I think PSA would give it a 9. Nice card, though. All right, we got another Ultimate Warrior. I hope this one doesn't have that little mark on the back. Centering a little bit thinner on the top than the bottom, but not much. I'd say 55-45. Corners look good. Surface looks great. Nice looking card. I'm not seeing much. No creases, nothing weird. Edges are even a little more clean on this one. Let's flip it over to the back. Good, no mark. Little tiny mark, but that one's not a big deal. Hardly noticeable. Yeah, I think we got our first 10 in this order. Looking that way anyway. Let me double check. Yeah, and I don't see anything wrong with this card. I think we got a 10. Definitely gradable. Nice clean copy. All right, we got one more Ultimate Warrior. Okay, so centering, I'm a little more concerned with this one. Top to bottom, a little thinner on the top than the bottom. You can really see it when you flip it horizontal, see that? But it's not, ugh. I think it's within a Gem 10 still, but everything else in the card would have to be perfect. So let's look. Good, nothing else wrong with the back. Oh, nice card. These are nice and clean. Looking for creases. It has that normal kind of extra edge, but that's okay. It's clean. Nothing else wrong with it other than the centering. So I'm going to say this still has a 10 chance. I'm going to put a 10 on it. It looks good. Look at one more thing real quick. Okay. Yeah, I think we're okay. I think this one has a 10, but I wouldn't be surprised if PSA gives it a 9 just because the centering, but I think it's within the tolerance. All right, we got a Drew Bledsoe. PSA is notoriously tough on these. I'm not seeing much wrong. It's looking good. Corners are looking nice. I see some slight white showing on that bottom left, but not too bad. The centering, I'm a little bit concerned of. It's a little bit thinner on the top than the bottom and a little bit to the left. To me, it looks like 65-35, so that's what puts it in the mint 9 range. You can really see, look how thin it is from the D to the edge and the E to the edge. See that? That's going to hurt. Other than that, it looks like a mint 9 card. Just look at the back, though. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the back. A little bit, see if you can see that. A little bit of ding to the top right corner, but not bad. I think this is a solid 9 copy because of the centering. I'm pretty confident in that one. I don't see anything major. Let me look at this one more time, but yeah, I think it's a mint 9. All right, we got Jerry Rice. Let's look at that centering. Dang, so now this time it's thinner on the right side than the left. So you can kind of see it from the J to the edge and the E. It's not as bad. It could be 60-40, so it has a chance out of 10. Let's look at the other stuff. Yeah, corners look good. These are nice copies, that's for sure. I like it. Let's see here. The top looks good. I'm a little concerned about, yeah. So I'll flip it around so you can kind of see the edge where right there. See it right there? I'm worried about that. I think they'll hit you a little hard on that one. Not terribly, but definitely not a 10. I think this is closer to a 9 too because of that. It's like an 8.5 edges to me. I'd still put it at a 9. At the front is so nice. Nice clean cards. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking they would hurt you on that edge. So I'm thinking a 9. All right, I always enjoy seeing these USAs. We got Barkley today. Let's look at that centering right away. Thinner on the top than the bottom, but not bad. I'd say 55-45. The corners look sharp. These are nice. I don't see any little faint scratches on these. I always see them on these, so that means this is really packed fresh. Yeah, I'm not seeing any issues with it so far, other than that top centering. But it has a chance out of 10. I don't see any indents, creases, anything weird. Yeah, it just looks good. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty confident in this one. I think they would give it a 10. It's flawless other than that centering, so I like it as a 10. All right, we got another Sir Charles. This one, centering looks the same. But the condition also looks the same. I don't see any flaws other than that centering. So, you know, as long as the card looks great, other than that centering, as long as it's within the Gem 10 range, which is 60/40, then I have no problem giving this a 10. But everything else has to be near perfect. And it's looking good. Another nice copy. A little bit of edge wear, but it's just extra. There you go. I think it just flicked away right now. Again, I'm not seeing much. Bit extra there. Okay. I'm pretty confident. This is almost identical as the last card I graded, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a 10 with a warning. I could see it, like the other card, getting a 9, depending on how flexible the grader is on that centering. But nice card. There you go. All right, we got a Karl Malone, the Mailman. I like the top to bottom centering on this one, more so than the Charles. Little thinner on the left than the right, but not bad. These ones are clean. I'm not seeing much to them. Nice copies. Yeah. I like it a lot. This card looks like a 10 all day. I'm not seeing anything major wrong at all. All right. Again. All right, we got one more Mailman. So right off the bat, the centering is off left to right. Much thinner on the left than the right. You can see it when you flip it up. I don't see anything major wrong with the surface. It's just a little debris. Let's look at the corners. Are nice and sharp. Nice and sharp corners. Don't see any indents or weird creases. Let's flip it over. Corners look nice. I see kind of like a factory roller imprint right here. Very faint, but it's there. But it's not going to hurt the grade more than the centering. So we're still looking at a 9. Yeah. I'm pretty confident in this one as a 9 because of this centering. All right, next we have a Chris Mullin. All right, centering looks great. A little bit thinner on the left than the right, but not much. Looks like 55/45. A little, hopefully just debris on this upper right corner. Yep, good. Don't see much surface scratches. Corners look nice. This looks pretty clean to me. Go. Yeah, edges look nice. The front looks good. All right, let's hope the back is just as nice. Top to bottom a little off center, but not bad for the back. There's a lot of give there. Corners look pretty good. Yeah, you're doing really well on these USAs. It looks like a 10 to me. I don't see any flaws. Yeah, it's looking good. Let me double check it one more time. Looks like a 10. All right, we got one more Chris Mullen. Looks very similar to the other one, a little thinner on the left than the right, but not much. I'm not seeing much. Corners look nice and sharp. Edges are nice too. These are clean. They look back pulled. Yes, nice and fresh. Very minor mark, surface mark. Not a full dimple. Not enough. It really isn't. Let's hope the back looks good. Again, the back looks great. I mean, it has a few factory roller marks just right through here, but very faint. And it's on the back, so it's not going to hurt you as much. Yeah, great looking card. I'll double check it one more time, but it really looks like another 10. Yeah. Okay, got another gem 10. All right, next up we got a Scottie Pippen. Wow, it's very similar to the Chris Mullins. A little thinner on the left, but close to 50-50. 55-45, if not better. Top to bottom looks great. Oh, man. Edges look good, and the corners look good. Yeah, you're doing very well on these USAs. I love seeing that. I'd say better than your last order with a lot of these. Yeah, they look great. Let's look at the corners again. A little bit of lifting on this corner right here, I noticed. See if that did the trick. No, it's still there, so a little bit of wear on that corner, but it's not much. I don't think it's enough. Looks like another 10. All right, we got one more Scottie Pippen. Okay, so this one does have problems. It's your first USA with some bigger problems. It's so off-centered, left to right. It looks more like in the mint 9 range. Thinner on the left than the right. You can really see it when you flip it. But that's not what I'm majorly concerned about. Do you see this line all through here? That's going to hurt you. At least bring you down from a 10 for sure. God, I might even give you an 8 from PSA. That's my guess. Mark in the U too. See that? Corners look okay. But all these things are kind of combining. Let's see if I see anything else. Back centering looks good. But we got that mark on the U. The big line, the factory line. And the off-centered. I think all that adds up to an 8.5 in my book. And PSA would probably give an 8. All right, next up we got a John Stockton. All right, good. I think we're back on this one. Back on 10 track. Left to right. Looks like thinner on the left than the right. 55-45, not too bad. Still within Gem 10 range. A little thinner on the top than the bottom, but still, as long as everything else checks out, I think we're still in the 10 range. Okay. Just looking for the surface issues, if there's any. Edges, everything looks good. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Okay, the back. Nice. Okay, I'm not seeing much. Let's double check the corners. Looks good. Edges look good. Yeah, I'm confident in this card. Not seeing much. Tiny mark on his kind of bicep, but that's not going to affect anything. Yeah, I'm comfortable giving it a 10. All right, we got a Coach K. I really hope these are Gem 10s because I think these are the ones that sell for the most. All right, so centering, I'm seeing marks. I'm seeing issues. So centering's off left to right and a little bit top to bottom, but not bad. It's 55-45. That's not what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about these bubble marks. They're actually pretty big. It almost looks like either factory or, I don't know. It looks factory to me, actually. Still, they're pretty glaring. And I also saw some more marks by the E. See if we can see it better with this angle. They're right in there. And then a little factory line through here. It's not bad, but these are surface issues that are going to bring it down most likely to a 9 or an 8. I'll have to see how everything else looks before I make a decision. Okay, so the back looks pretty good. It has its normal factory lines all through here, but that's common for these Coach Ks I've seen. I'm worried about those marks. I think PSA is actually going to give it an 8, and I'm going to put it at an 8.5. It's just too big. Okay. All right, next up we got a Lenny Wilkens. Centering is off left to right and maybe a little top to bottom. This one's a little bit more. It looks maybe like 60-40. Thinner on the left than the right. You can really see it. I don't see any printing issues on the surface. A few light marks right here, so I do see a little bit. Nothing major. Corners look good. Okay, let's flip it to the back. I'm not seeing much. No factory lines, edges, corners, surface, it looks good. Okay. It's close, but that centering, I'm going to put it at a 9.5. Just because I give the centering a 9. I think PSA gives it a 9. And a little bit of surface. Yeah, it's close, but not quite a 10 in my eyes. All right, last one. Looks like we'll end on a Lenny Wilkens. Same kind of centering right off the bat. Off left to right. A little bit top to bottom too. Yeah. I'm thinking that automatically kind of brings it down to a 9 in PSA's eyes. It's too bad because other than that, the card just doesn't have any factory blemishes. Yeah, and the corners look good, so the back, double check one more time. The back looks great. I'm not seeing any issues. Let's double check that front again. I didn't look long enough. Corners look good. Oh yeah. Nice corners, surface. Let me see if there's anything I'm missing. It's always good to tilt kind of away from the brightest light, I found a little bit. I have dual lights, so I guess that doesn't quite make sense. But yeah, I'm thinking a 9.